Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this dodocool car phone mount with wireless charging. This was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing this before I post it. If you're interested in this, I'll put a link in the description to this on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit. It doesn't cost you anything extra. So it says dodocool, cool your life. It's blank on all sides except for the bottom here, and we have some specs. It says it's model DA193B. The input is 2 volts at 2 amps or 9 volts at 1.67 amps. Output is 5 volts at 1 amp, 5 volts at 1.5 amp, and 9 volts at 1.97 amps. The rated frequency is 110 to 205 kilohertz. Charging efficiency is greater than or equal to 95%, and charging distance is less than or equal to 6 millimeters. So we'll open it up here. We have an instruction manual, registration card. We have another box within the box. And here we have the components. This is the car vent mount. So this has a suction cup mount and a car vent mount. There's the suction cup, and there's the phone holder. So if we want to put this on the suction cup mount, I'll put this threaded thing over the ball. I'll clip it over, and then I'll tighten it down. And that can be tightened in any position. And then we have a little thumb screw here. We can loosen that up. So thumb screw here, that extends it. And let's see, this would be the suction cup spring. So you put that on a surface, press it down, and suction cup it to something. So you can mount this in any position. That when you suction cup it, you can change this angle here, you can extend it, and then of course you can rotate this 360 degrees. So if you put it on your windshield, you could do it kind of like that. If you put it on your console, if your console is able to do that, you could have it like this. So lots of different options there. So I'll just lock it down about like that. So this has a charging cable here, and this has USB-C on it and regular USB. So that plugs in the back side here. And then I'll just plug that into a power brick for now. Typically you'd plug that like into your car. There we go. This here pulls down. You can change it. It says 4.7, 5.5, 6.5, and 7.0. So you can change the size phone that's in it. And this has a touch sensors on it. So if you touch those, it expands. And then you can take a phone and just set it in there and touch, and it'll grab your phone like so. And now it's secure. When you're ready to go, you just grab it like that. It lets go. That's a pretty cool feature. So let me show that right here. There's one of these on either side. Touch, opens and closes. And then your wireless pad is in here. So this is not a wireless charging phone, so I'm going to get one to demonstrate the wireless charging on this. So one thing about this is that you do need power to it just to use it with even a regular phone here, because you need power to clamp it down. So let me give it a sec. There we go. But with a wireless charger, the whole point of it is that you're not messing with wires. So the person who's going to want this is going to plug it in their car and leave it plugged in all the time. It wouldn't make sense to unplug it all the time, because then why are you using a wireless charger in the first place? So I'm going to get a phone that'll work with wireless charging, and then I'll test that out in here. Okay, so I procured a phone. This is a Samsung. It's a Galaxy S6 Edge, and this has a case on it, and this will work with 6mm cases, but this has like a band on the back, so that makes it a little bit too thick, but this without this would probably work. So I'll adjust this. I'll pull down the foot a little bit. Okay, so if I set it in, oops, there we go, and you'll see I had that ring there, and it's wirelessly charging now. So you can see it's charging, okay? And then you can hit this and just pull it right out. So super easy. If you have wireless charging on your phone, this is a pretty awesome stand. So if you have a phone that doesn't have wireless charging, that'll still work, and you can still plug in a cable down here. Now this is the old 30-pin port. Not many people are using phones with this, but if you're using the iPhone cable or the micro USB or USB-C, you can easily fit that in there, so you can use this. The thing is, you'll have to plug two things in. You'll have to plug the stand in, and you have to plug your phone in if you're doing both. Luckily, most of those little 12-volt adapters come with two ports on it. So another thing to point out is that this supports Quick Charge 2, Quick Charge 3, but you need to have whatever adapter you're using, either your car or a 12-volt adapter needs to support those protocols also if you want to use the Quick Charge features. So otherwise you're using the regular charge rate. So I'm going to take this now and I'm going to go in the car and we'll show some different ways to mount this. Before I head out to the car, I want to take a quick look at this attachment here. So this will go in the vent on a car, and to use it you can press in this little tab here, and this slides back and forth, and then this will fit on it. And then this one is a suction cup, so we'll take the plastic off here and then we'll put that on the windshield. So this has kind of a ratchet kind of thing here, so it should lock in pretty good. This one is smooth, so this shouldn't slip. This could in theory slip, but it isn't. Just because of the way it's made, it's not likely to slip. But this has leverage on it, so you know, some weight on here could potentially make that slip, except it has those little ratchets in there, so it should be a little sturdier. So this is actually like a tape material too. So this is very sticky here. I'm actually going to put that back on until I get out there so I don't get it dirty. So yeah, that should be very, very secure. Okay, so I'll head out to my car and we'll hook this up. Okay, so I'm in my car, and the first thing I'm going to do is clean the windshield a little bit. So I just have some alcohol on a microfiber, and I'll just clean off a spot. And then I'll peel the protective wrap there, and now I can stick this on, like so, and then I'll engage the suction cup. So this isn't super straight right now, but typically when you do this, don't film while you're doing it, because it'd be easier. And now I'll touch the phone. So I'll stick the nut on there. I'll clip this on. I'm gonna have to use two hands. Okay, so I've attached it. You wanna make sure the nut is pressed all the way back, and then this will just press on, and then you can tighten it down. And I'll open this up, and I'll stick the phone in there. And remember, this doesn't have wireless charging on it. I'd probably want to tilt the phone back a little ways. Okay, so right now I have it right under my rearview mirror, so you need to pay attention to your local laws if you're allowed to, you know, mount it up there on the windshield or other things. You could also mount it on like the side, like here. I could maybe mount it back here, and it would be right there. There's different mounting options. So you could mount this in a back seat for a kid, like say to watch a movie while you're on a trip, things like that. Oops, keep touching that. And you know, this is pretty sturdy here. This is a big case on here. I mean, it's super thick, so a thinner case would probably fit a little bit better on there. So now I'll show mounting it on here. I'll take this little clip, and I have it pushed all the way back, and I'll clip that on the back of the vent, like so, and then I'll press in and pull. So now that's pretty sturdy. There we go. One more click out of it. So now I'll take this off. Okay, so now I have the phone here. Oops. So if you have the wireless charging, this is going to be really smooth. So it goes in like that. This kind of blocks my CD slot, which I have never used. So not a big problem there. But you know, you could move it over if you had to, or I could move it over to this side. So, and then I have that plugged in down to the USB on the car. I have two USB ports down here, and then actually in my console I have an outlet there, and I plug my phone there to charge it usually. So I have 4 usable USB ports too that came with the car. So that's the dodocool wireless charging phone mount for a car, and I think this is really cool. If you have wireless charging, this is really slick, and if you don't, it works really well also. But you got to keep in mind that you're going to need 2 USB ports, one to charge your phone and one to run the stand. Now you could stick it in here and then unplug it, and then plug your phone in if you only had one port. But that'd probably be a little bit inconvenient. You could just get those a 12-volt adapter that has 2 ports in it. They're pretty cheap. So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.